Hi guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Ariel and I am your tarot translator. So if you are unfamiliar with the tarot, I highly encourage you to go to the very first video that I just made, which was essentially an introduction to the 3 spookiest cards in the tarot so that you don't get freaked out if they pop up in your reading. But right now I'm just saging my space so that I can clear the energies. I've already shuffled all the cards and I am officially ready to jump in and do my very first tarot card reading with you. So today we're going to start off with a major arcana card. So this particular deck right here is only major arcanas, and we're just going to shuffle it and see what the overall theme of your reading is going to be. So we'll come back to the cards that I wind up putting here and see how they correlate with the reading at the end. This is a collective reading. This is not a personalized reading to you, obviously. I'm reading for whatever energies are tapped into or brought to me. I believe everything happens for a reason, so if you're here, there's something that you're going to get out of it. It might not be every single message that's here, so leave what resonates for yourself and what doesn't for everybody else. All right, let's jump in and get started. First card to come out right now is going to be the Sun. That, my friend, is actually the happiest card in the deck. So that's actually a really sweet sign. I love that. I love that that was the very first card I have ever pulled on my tarot channel was the Sun. The Sun talks about happiness. It talks about fulfillment. It talks about, just in general. I mean, the sun brings life. The sun brings joy. The sun brings warmth. So the overall theme of the reading somewhere, in whatever else pops up, we're going to remember that the Sun was the very first card that popped out. By the way, this is not a reading specific to any one astrological sign. I will do individual signs, but this is a collective reading. What that means is that anybody who's here, regardless if you're an Aries, a Pisces, a Scorpio, a Virgo, such as myself, or a Capricorn, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. What's relevant is that you're here, and therefore this reading has something here for you. So our first card pop out was the Sun. Our second card that we're going to pop out, because this is a love reading, is going to be a card that gives us some messages that are going to tap into the person that you are connecting with at the moment of seeing this video. So you'll know pretty quickly if this video resonates with you or not. I'm going to do 5 cards from here, which is intended to be the energy of the person who you are dealing with in this moment. First card to come out was Incomplete. You want someone who completes you, but you need to be whole on your own. That in general is an extremely good message to remember for yourself and for others who you might be dealing with. So really what it's talking about is how if you're not loving yourself, if you're not feeling whole on your own, and you get into a relationship with somebody and they are expecting you to fix them or you're expecting them to fix you, that's not typically a great way to start off a relationship. And it's not a great feeling to have when you're deep into a long-term relationship. The next card that popped up for us is Boundaries. So this talks about you need to hold good onto your boundaries so you don't feel violated. And the card, depicts somebody standing sort of with a crack in the middle of the road. That is essentially, to me, as I'm seeing this, making me feel like this person isn't maybe standing firm on their boundaries because they're not picking one side or the other to stand on. They're standing in the middle. So they're sort of being wishy-washy with what they know. They know what their boundaries are, but they're not sure they want to draw the line in the sand. If this person had been standing on one side or the other of the line, it would make me feel like you are standing firm on your boundaries. And the fact that this card came out is telling me that maybe there's something going on with your relationship right now, your situationship, whoever it is that you're connecting with, either them or you, one of you is not holding on firm to your boundaries. And that might be making one of you feel uncomfortable. Violated doesn't necessarily have to mean like that there's violence going on or anything like that, but there could be feelings of disconnect. There could be feelings of lack. There could be feelings of just in general, like incompatibility. The next card that came out is Addiction. You are either obsessed with someone or struggling with addiction. Get help. So that card's pretty direct and straight to the point. I mean, here's what it looks like, right? We can be addicted to things outside of, alcohol and drugs and food. There's all kinds of addictions, and there's certainly addictions to people and people's energies. And that can have a lot to do with like karmic cycles that you have with people. It can have a lot to do with general feelings of obsession. And, you know, for different zodiac signs, that can tend to happen more easily. So a lot of the water signs can sort of get into headspaces of some obsessive thoughts. It doesn't necessarily have to mean that you're like obsessed with this person, but maybe there's some feelings of being incomplete. There's some boundaries that you're not holding on to. And there's some feelings of like, you really want this to work out with this person. We're going to see what else comes up. But there are times I've certainly been in relationships like that where I want it so badly and it just wasn't meant for me. But we'll get to that later. Let's see what next pops out for us here. Everyone leaves. Choose a partner who can commit to you and let yourself commit to them. So here's the picture on the card. Obviously, that is talking about the commitment of a wedding. But, you know, not everybody has the intention to get married. It can be a long-term relationship. But the overall feeling that I'm getting from this, obviously, is that you have a sort of mindset that like everyone is going to leave eventually anyway. So like, why let anybody in? And this is all really correlating. It's got a very sincere, like, connecting the dots vibe here. So let's see what comes out next. All right, we've got self-neglect. So that talks about you are neglecting your own needs in a relationship. Practice self-care is what it's reminding you to do. Okay, so you've got somebody there who's obviously like sort of in that mode of I don't give up, you know, that bleep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bottom of the deck, we've got lust, not love. Passion isn't the same as lasting love. Don't get sucked in by just good sex alone. So that is a card of a reminder that exactly what it says, right? Which is that at times there can be feelings of sort of obsession with a relationship. And if you are in a sort of cycle of that chaser runner type of thing, right? So you might be I feel like I'm channeling that one of you is a anxious attached style person. I've studied the anxious attached theory very, very deeply. I'm very familiar with attachment styles. So I have a feeling that maybe I'm tapping into a group of the collective here who is an anxious attached style and is in a relationship currently or a situationship with somebody who is in a avoidant attachment style. And they are not respecting those boundaries. That can come in the form of, you know, this person says they're going to text you. They know that you like to hear from them on a regular basis, but they're not really you know, they don't really care enough to do that. So they are on their own timeline, which can leave you feeling abandoned. It can leave you feeling with obsessive thoughts. What are they doing? Where are they? Do they still like me? Are they ghosting me? Are they ever going to respond? That feeling can lead some people into a feeling of self-neglect. It's like you're sort of mourning a relationship that you don't know if it's going to keep on going or not, and you really like this person. Maybe there are some feelings of like, hey, I thought this was the one. This person completes me. Or maybe it's a feeling of like, you know what? Like, this is the best I'm going to get. Everyone leaves, so I might as well stay with this one because, you know, I don't know what I'm going to get next. I don't know what exactly is going on, but I do see that there's somebody here who is going through a bit of a struggle. And maybe the person is really great chemistry-wise in the bedroom, but that might not be enough to sustain, you know, or take your relationship to the next level. So this is the next deck I'm going to use, and this is going to give us another few oracle messages about what might be going on here. So timing is a really pretty card. Timing, divine time, patience, not the right time. Oh, we all love hearing that because, you know, humans are super patient. Obviously, I'm being facetious. Divine timing is like one of the my least favorite things to hear, but I know that I've been working on that a lot myself because it's something that I've decided that I'm going to work really hard to continue to have faith in. That God's timing is always better than whatever timing we have in our minds, right? God, source, the universe, whatever you believe in, that timing is always right? So it might not be when you want it, but it's always on time. That's a saying. So the next card that came out right under boundaries is Lover Boy. And obviously we have a depiction here of a guy. He's got a few females around him, multiple lovers is what it says, unattached, playing the field. So, and it's right underneath boundaries. So I think what we're obviously getting through this message here is perhaps deep down, or on the surface, either you blatantly know or you have an intuition that that perhaps this person is entertaining other options and that you're not the only option. And even though you might say to yourself, I don't want somebody who's breadcrumbing me and stringing me along, I want somebody who's really committed to me and nobody else but me, you're not holding on to your boundaries because you're still engaging with this person's energy, even though either, again, intuitively or very consciously, you're aware that they are entertaining other options. Perhaps that's the boundary that is not being upheld here. Deep roots, strong bond, unwavering love, firm foundation. And that comes under addiction. So what I'm channeling out of this, and I'll know more when the tarot comes out, is that we're talking about something here where you deserve, right, deep-rooted love, something that has a firm foundation, that isn't shaky. When I see a card like addiction and obsessive thoughts, and a warning sign that maybe you need to get some help, that be a therapist, talking with a good friend, talking with your relationship partner about the truths of how you feel, or just talking to a family member that you really trust. Like, there are deep-rooted connections in your life. You've had deep-rooted connections throughout your life, and so you do know what those feel like, and maybe this relationship isn't showing you that same kind of energy. So maybe it's a reminder that, hey, you do know what the sun feels like. You do know what deep-rooted, fully committed relationships feel like. Maybe they haven't always been romantic. Maybe they've been platonic. Maybe like you and your best friend are so deep, ride or die, that you know that person is always going to have your back. That's a deep-rooted sun connection, right? A connection where addiction is involved or obsessive thoughts is involved isn't probably set on like the best foundation. So it's just a reminder to you saying that, you have experienced in your life in some capacity what a good, solid relationship feels like. And if your intuition is telling you that this is not solid, then please trust it. Everyone leaves. This could either be, again, your energy or the person who you're dealing with's energy. This might be why, if it's the person who you're dealing with's energy, they're in that avoidant attachment style, right? Where they are way too scared of however good this feels, because clearly something about this feels extremely good. So every time that you guys start to get closer and closer to each other, they get kind of freaked out and they run. And next card to come up was locked, not for you, not available, major blocks. So again, they could be a runner. They can make you feel like, you know what, my heart is on lockdown. Like, I just don't know how to open it up. I'm not ready for that type of commitment. I'm not ready for anything close to this right now. Even though I have feelings for you, I'm not yet complete myself. And maybe they don't have firm boundaries. And so, they're one of you or both of you might have times where you're feeling like, I just don't, this person clearly is in a state of what you might call depression, or a feeling of just like, what's the point, right? What's the point of getting up and like brushing my hair and brushing my teeth and getting dressed? And if I don't have to, I'm not going to work or something, or if I don't have to take care of my kids, like, what's the point of like taking care of yourself is the reminder there, right? And the next card that we got out says negative energy, toxic connection, and evil eye. So, this sometimes, be it, even though it's a beautiful card, the evil eye is something that, can talk about essentially other people's energy coming into the connection. So maybe this person who has other people that they're entertaining, maybe some of those people are throwing a little shade your way because they're a little jealous of the fact that you guys have something going on and they want that person off to themselves. That's just intuitively what I'm picking up. And then I've got at the bottom of the deck restrained, which is controlled, stagnation, holding back. So you might feel like you could give more to this connection if it made you feel safe. But in the current energy, you feel restrained by this connection. You feel like you have to hold back because you don't want to you don't want to lose it. For some reason, you're really holding on to it tightly, or they're holding on to you really tightly, and you're not necessarily on the same page with them as far as that goes. So I'm going to jump in next with one more oracle deck here. And I'm just deciding if I'm going to do a fourth, but I'm called to use this deck right now and just see what messages come through to kind of connect the top energies on the top row to the energies on the bottom. So between incomplete and divine timing, it says some people never change. So I'm getting a feeling of, either the person that you're dealing with or you yourself is having a really hard time with patience, right? And that feeling that I'm never going to find my person. I'm never going to feel whole. I'm never going to find my soulmate. Personally, I believe that everybody on the planet has multiple soulmates. You don't just have one. I mean, think about there's like 8 billion people on planet Earth. So the idea of having just one soulmate for me seems a little crazy. I think that the majority of people do subscribe to the idea that you can have multiple soulmates, and there's different kinds of soulmates, and there's people that believe in twin flames, and there's people that don't. There's people that believe in karmic soulmates and things like that. I believe that everybody comes into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime, right? The ones that are there typically for just a season are there to teach you some really, really deeply needed lessons. And I'm grateful for every single person that's ever come into my life, both platonically, romantically. Each and every single one of them absolutely taught me some hard lessons and some good lessons, but typically you grow the most from the hard ones, right? We outgrew each other is the next one. So next to some people never change, we outgrew each other. That's between boundaries and this lover boy. So, again, this might be somebody who's entertaining multiple people and you're one of the people on their roster, but to them, it's like, I don't know if that connection still feels as strong. Or for you, you're starting to feel like you're outgrowing this person. The next one says, between addiction and deep roots, it says, we will overcome this. So what I'm channeling here, because it's actually not, to me, resonating with an energy of you and this person necessarily overcoming this. This shows me two hands, which feel like they're the same hands, and they're sort of got like a piece of the universe in between them, right? I'm very strongly getting a sense of like the universe has your back, right? The universe is saying, hey, right now it might feel obsessive. There might be some addictions going on. There might be some toxicity here. But again, you deserve deep-rooted love. You deserve to feel grounded and to feel safe in any type of relationship, be it platonic or romantic. With faith that like the universe has your back, you guys got this together, Manifestation is a big part of my daily life. Seeing the vision of the life that I want versus just kind of accepting what I have currently has always helped. So unlocked potential. This is a card that's connecting the energies of everyone leaves and locked. And it says unlocked potential. So we've got some synchronicities here between the locked card and the unlocked potential card. And that, for me, as the energy of holding together this everyone leaves and the not for you, it's telling me that obviously there is somebody for everybody. So get rid of that negative mindset that there's nobody for you, or this person needs to get rid of that negative mindset that like everyone leaves. Like, what's the point, right? Because all it leads to is this sort of energy of like, what's the point? And that's not the kind of energy that's going to bring you any kind of long-lasting, healthy relationship. That's going to bring you nothing but repeated cycles and patterns. So between evil eye and self-neglect, we've got the energy coming through of accept it for all it's worth. So this, for me, is giving me the feeling of, again, everyone that comes into your life for a really strong reason. And if you're intuitive and you have discernment and you have the desire to sort of see past the superficial like chaos that can ensue at times in relationships and think from a more intuitive, higher self, higher frequency plane, you can look at things sort of like more objectively and say, what is the lesson here? Like, why am I going through this, right? Accept it for all it's worth. So some people never change. We outgrew each other. We will overcome this. That's to me speaking about you and the universe will overcome this together. Mainly you and your higher self are going to overcome this together. You've got unlocked potential in you, and accept this particular situation for all that it's worth. And look what we have at the bottom of the deck. Trust the universe. So I think my intuition was right when it was saying that this center section here, which talks about we will overcome this, trust in the universe. You guys together, collaboratively, you and your higher self, you, the universe, you and your higher power are going to get through whatever sticky situation this is, because I'm getting a very sticky feeling about this situation. I am going to jump into this deck next. This is a combination of 2 decks, and I'm just going to get 3 cards here to do some clarification, then we're going to jump into the tarot. All right, separation. Aren't we just like going down the same theme here? You know, my cards don't lie. They definitely are connecting with somebody who's going through a very specific situation here. There's deception, and that came between our cards of addiction and deep roots. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship. And look, everybody wears masks, okay? Like everybody does it. Humans typically tend to wear masks. Like you're not the same person in front of your boss as you are in front of your spouse or your long-term relationship partner, in front of your best friend, in front of your kid, in front of your mom, in front of your grandmother. Like it's called masking, right? But it's also not always completely inauthentic. It's like there's social norms that we have to live by. But in this case, I think what we're talking about here is with this deep roots, with this, we will overcome this and addiction. It's like, hey, you know, maybe you're masking how you're really feeling about this person, those obsessive thoughts, or they're masking how obsessive they're feeling over you. Again, this comes out very strongly as a reminder. I mean, this can be a very, very addictive feeling when the chemistry is on fire like that. So it's reminding you that like deception isn't healthy. Like it's best to feel, in order to feel rooted is what I'm getting. I'm hearing like in order to feel rooted, there can't be mask wearing, right? You have to take the mask off and expose who you really are for your weird, funny, crazy, goofy self. And the right person is going to love you regardless of what that version of you is. You're not pretending for them. And the last one to come out is codependency, which makes a lot of sense under everyone leaves, unlocked potential, and locked, not for you, and not currently available. So addictions are affecting your romantic life. Again, back to the addictions. Bottom of the deck, we have message. So, you know, maybe you're in no contact with this person. Maybe they've ghosted or something like that, and a message might be on its way. But we really have to filter through, like, what is this relationship bringing? How much of it is positive? How much of it is negative? I always encourage clients to like make a list, right? Like I learned this from a therapist of mine once, where it was like, make a list of the positives, make a list of the negatives, and then make a list of like the in-betweens. Or another list that I encourage people to do is forget like this particular person for a moment, put a pin in that, and make a list of your non-negotiables in a relationship. Like they have to be, adventurous, because I'm an adventurous person. They have to, it's non-negotiable that they be a kind person. It's non-negotiable that they accept my children if you have children. It's non-negotiable that they accept my dogs and my cats if you're a big pet person. It's non-negotiable that they have the same faith as I do if you're a person with deep religious roots. And it's a non-negotiable that this person make a certain amount of money if that's important to you. And then there's a list of negotiables. So like, I don't really care how old they are or how tall they are or what race or religion they are, or, whatever your non-negotiables middle ground is. That you don't really care about either way. It's just like something to think about, but you're going to say, I'll get over it if they don't check that box. And then the last list is the non-negotiables on the negatives. So they cannot be a narcissist. They cannot be a liar. They cannot be somebody who has cheated on past partners. They cannot be somebody who is, not attentive to their children if they have them. Like they cannot be somebody who, whatever your red flags are, right? Everybody's got different red flags, and I don't judge anybody. So whatever they are, it's just giving me this reason to tell you about these lists. I don't know. Maybe that'll help you in some way. But that being said, I'm going to go ahead and push these cards back a little bit here on my table. And we are going to now do the traditional tarot on top of these cards to really get a better idea of the storyline that's happening here. First card out is the Seven of Swords. Shocker. Seven of Swords talks about betrayal. Doesn't necessarily have to mean cheating. It can be that they're too focused on their job. They're too focused on other things, other people, friendships, entertaining, just like other relationships in general. We've got the Death card next to the King of Pentacles. Oop. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So in their energy towards you. So the bottom deck is going to be, or the bottom row is going to be their actions or next likely actions towards you. But I'm channeling here that we've got somebody who, might be an earth energy that you're dealing with the King of Pentacles here. There's somebody that has the potential to be able to really, give a solid foundation, give a solid offer. Or who maybe thinks of giving a solid offer, but somewhere here in the past, there's been some sort of betrayal. There's been some sort of sneaky energy that has come about, and somebody, either you or them, is ready for a rebirth, is ready for a maybe cutting ties with this particular person because you know that it's not good for you. And your Page of Cups, in a state of, I'm not ready to give my Ace of Cups to somebody. I want to start back at like ground zero and maybe start seeking out other relationships that are healthier for me, but taking it sort of like very slow dose, right? Like not jumping in Queen of Cups energy to somebody new. I also get the idea that maybe this person is just a page, right? A page in the tarot is like a child, like an adolescent. Like this person doesn't obviously have to be of an adolescent age, but maybe they're like not as high frequency as you are, not as mature as you are. They could be older than you, but act younger than you. And that's why even though they want to come across as King of Pentacles energy, they're really acting more like a page. So they're, they can talk about bringing an apology your way, but with all the other cards that we have on the table right now, I'm not so sure that that's exactly what's going on. So let's go to their intentions of what their next actions towards you are, and that'll help me clarify. And then we'll obviously do clarifications for each row as well. So we've got the Queen of Wands, the Hanged Man, the Devil, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Wheel. Okay. So what I'm feeling their intentions are, they're obviously extremely attracted to you, or you're extremely attracted to them, which is clarified again by over here. So let's not forget that. They're obviously very attracted to you. Hangman energy talks about where the contemplations, right? Like they're contemplating a lot of things. You're contemplating a lot of things. This came under our section where separation was. This came under the section of where lover boy and boundaries were. So I'm just going to pull these up again for you so that you can see the connection of what's happening here. So we've got boundaries. We have we outgrew each other, separation, lover boy, followed by Ace of Pentacles and Hanged Man. Ace of Pentacles being their mindset towards you, and Hanged Man being the actions that they're likely to take next. Bottom of the deck right now, we've got Nine of Swords, which talks about sleepless nights, somebody sort of maybe drinking a lot to try to drown out their thoughts. The Devil talks about addictions, and here we are again with some pretty devilish energy, right? Like we've got right under or above the Devil, we have the Death card, which talks about rebirth, but we had addiction, we had deep roots, we had deception, and we had we will overcome this. And let's just for a second, because it's getting heavy here, remember that the very first card we pulled was the Sun. So no matter what this is saying, obviously the overall major arcana message from the universe is like happier days ahead. You're heading towards the Sun. Regardless of what the sticky situation is right now, you are heading towards the Sun. And I certainly feel that, because if you have faith in the universe and you have faith in your own discernment and yourself, there's no situation that you can't get yourself out of. I'm going to clarify this top row. So Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, that for me as a reader tells me, hey, there is some sort of betrayal with entertaining other people's energy. Lover boy, that makes sense, right? Entertaining multiple options. Ace of Pentacles to the Two of Wands, that tells me that this person, when they're thinking of you, they're thinking, do I want to give a full Ace of Pentacles, which is like a brand new start and opportunity, to this person or to another person? Two of Wands, between two choices. On this particular deck, you can see this person looking out the window, or maybe it's you. Maybe it's you that's saying, hey, you know what? I'm getting over this-ish, right? And I want to pursue a different option, a different route. I see her here with a map, the world. There's a little van I've never noticed there with a surfboard on it. Maybe she wants to just get away from it all. Clarifying to the Death card is the Three of Pentacles, and that came under the addictions and the deception. So, you know, maybe this is talking about a rebirth, where in the next situation, there aren't multiple players, right, in the game. It's just you and a new fresh start with somebody new. King of Pentacles to the Moon, person's energy towards you being that there's some secrets. There's some secrets that they're holding on to. You know, it could involve finances for some reason. It's under Everyone Leaves and codependency, and the King of Pentacles is a really solid king. He's not a codependent king. He is very financially stable, and he has a lot to offer. But this King of Pentacles is got some things that are hidden, right? And you might intuitively know that. So our next card is Page of Cups, and we've got the Queen of Swords clarifying that, which talks about having an honest, open conversation or cutting somebody out, being like, I'm done with the page energy. I'm done with the breadcrumbing. I'm done with the, you know, you not respecting my boundaries. I'm done with your anxious avoidant style. I'm done with being anxiously attached. Like, it's just not working for me anymore. I'm Queen of Swords energy, which is like cutting you out. Next to Queen of Wands and their intentions towards you, you've got King of Wands. So this is definitely some sort of a soul connection. Anytime that you've got like a king and a queen of the same suit, that for me as a reader says like, hey, this person was meant to come into your life for a reason. This is not some mistake. Everything that's happening here is definitely for a reason. It is teaching you something that if you allow it to will be profoundly life-changing for you for the next relationship. Or if there's reconciliation with this person, serious things are going to have to change. But there's definitely a deep, deep soul tie here because you guys are coming out as the King and the Queen of Wands. And you know what? Those two really like to do? They like to do that. Okay? Just saying. So you got the Chariot, which is confirmed or clarifying the Hanged Man. So in their intentions, it's like they are seriously in a state of hanged man, looking at things from every angle. Should they go this way or should they go that way? In the Chariot, you've got the white horse and the black horse and the person that's riding, and there's almost a feeling of them going in separate directions. And the person that's on it is typically seen as the Emperor or the Empress, trying to make the best decision for themselves. With the Devil, we have the Page of Wands. That's really, for me, just with the rest of the cards around it, feeling like this person takes their relationships lightly at the moment. And they do like to dabble in wearing a mask and sort of, you know, spreading their energy around and seeing what other options are out there because their heart is on lockdown and they're really not committed to any one person right now. The Knight of Pentacles to the Ten of Wands. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the tarot. He just takes his sweet old time. He's not even riding his horse. He's got a horse. He's got a huge, beautiful, gorgeous stallion there that he could like ride at, you know, 40 plus miles an hour, but he chooses to just walk very nonchalantly, very slowly, like I'll get there when I get there. And we've got the Ten of Wands clarifying that. So that's very clear image of me, for me, of a woman who is packing her ish up and leaving. She doesn't care how long it's going to take her to get from the top of that mountain to her final destination, but she's taken her yak and her sleeping bag and all of her things and all of her wands. She doesn't care how heavy it is. She's taking it and she's out of there because she's sick and tired of this slow as molasses moving person who's not making a decision to or get off the pot, right? The Wheel. The Wheel talks about things moving in your favor, the universe helping you kind of push you along to the next chapter of your life. Either you choosing to repeat this cycle or the universe, having faith in the universe that you are going to decide, I want to move away from this cycle. And that is clarified by the Knight of Swords, which can talk about an energy swiftly moving in. So maybe as this person sees that you're finally getting fed up with this BS, that they are going to come running back, because that's what anxious avoidance do. They run away. When you become anxiously attached and clingy, they start to run away. But the minute that you're like, you know what, Queen of Swords energy, I'm cutting you out, and I am deciding to start a new cycle, they're like, whoa, 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 wait, where are you going? I mean, I know I'm not like fully committed to you and only you, but I'm going to give you this message because I clearly have like some sort of feelings for you, and you know, we're a divine soul couple, soul tie here. So don't run away just yet, but let's see what the mutual energies are between you guys. We've got the 10 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the Moon again, which must have come from a different deck, but nothing happens by mistake, the 2 of Pentacles, and the Judgment with the bottom of the deck, again, the 9 of Swords. Wow, I shuffled these decks hard. I do have 2 of the same deck. That is extremely rare that these 2 wound up in here. So we're going to take it for exactly what it says, which is you thought it was the 10 of Cups. It's obviously not. Somebody, one or both of you, are unhappy in this situation. There are secrets here, and it's like a do I tell, do I not, do I move on, or do I stay? Judgment means, you know, working in your favor. The universe has your back. It's going to, if you allow this door to close, a better door will open, which will lead to the sun. And even though you're in a state of 9 of Swords right now, or they're in a state of 9 of Swords right now, we have the Lovers, and we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the 2 of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. And finally, we have the 7 of Wands. So that tells me, and at the bottom of the deck here, we've got the 9 of Cups, but we're not technically taking that. But what this tells me as a whole is, if you go ahead and let the universe help you out of this sticky situation, it's telling you it might be hard in the present moment. You might be having some sleepless nights. You might be embracing some addictive energies right now to help cope with this, right? You might be drinking a little bit too much. You might be partying a little bit too much. You might be, you know, you might be entertaining other energies too. You might be a lover girl, a lover boy. I don't read gender. I don't, you know, there's no gender in tarot. It's all technically, could be anybody's energy, right? But if you let this go, your future looks like there's a relationship coming in, somebody who's going to put in the effort. You might even have a choice between 2 people, which could be this person trying to come in and reconcile with you because they see you leaving, and some handsome, you know, Knight of Cups who actually takes the time to plan dates, be consistent, hold to your boundaries. You might have to make a choice between 2 people and who to give your Ace of Cups to. So with the warning of 7 of Wands, protect your energy. Your energy is beautiful. Your energy is precious, and you only have so much of it to give. So be wise with who you're sharing it with, right? Let's see, just for a confirmation, to see like what zodiac sign you might be dealing with here. I'll get a couple. So we have Virgo pop out. You could be dealing with an earth sign. This person could be really helpful at times. They could be a perfectionist. They could be practical. They could be independent. Their birthday could be between August 23rd and September 22nd. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, or they have heavy Aquarius placements in their chart, January 20th to February 18th. They could be assertive, very visionary, very unattached emotionally, very creative, very independent. Could be a Taurus, so that's double confirmation for an earth sign. This is a collective reading. You could be a Taurus, you could be a Virgo, you could be an Aquarius. You don't have to be. Just because your sign doesn't pop out here doesn't mean it's not your reading. It's just saying, think about these energies. Aquarius came out again. And one more, we have Pisces. So they could have like a Virgo sun, a Pisces moon. You could have a Pisces moon. You've got Cancer at the bottom of the deck. So we've got some water energy here. We've got some air, and we've got some earth. Those are some of the signs that you might be dealing with. Pisces is February 19th to March 20th. Imaginative, romantic, moody, generous, forgiving, escapist, creative. Yeah, Pisces definitely are known for being a little bit of an escapist energy. So we're going to conclude this reading with 2 more cards, and they're going to go here because my intention for them is to give you some sort of message that you really need to close this out. We know that the sun is where you're heading. Boundaries. Again with the boundaries. Okay, guy, girl, whomever. If you uphold to your boundaries, which has come out 3 times in this reading now, you will get your son, okay? Your boundaries are important in love. Your boundaries are important in love. If somebody loves you, they what? Respect your boundaries. And your final message is just a message from the universe for you. Clear out all of this sticky energy. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. I don't make this stuff up, people. My cards don't lie. This is a very specific message for a very specific collective of people who are going through a pretty sticky situation. I'm not gonna lie. This is a sticky situation, but the universe has your back. Clearly, it's got a lot of energy here saying, hey, you're going through this for a reason. This is definitely about something about love. Nobody is out there to complete you. And you're not out there to complete anybody, and you don't need to settle for breadcrumbs. And if you adhere to your intuition, use your discernment, and really allow yourself to close a cycle that is not serving you, you'll go towards your 9 of Cups, you know, which is like the sun, right? The sun's popping up here. The sun popped out as your overall major arcana energy. There's really good things ahead, my love. It's just a matter of taking a step back, letting go of some of the codependency, not being afraid of separation, not being afraid to, see what else is out there, and to maybe take some time for yourself. Because quite often when we're in situations like this, we're so heavily focused on this person who's ghosting us, who's not sending the messages as often as they used to, who was really, really good at this. And so we can't stop thinking about it because we're humans, and that's, dopamine feels amazing. But there's like, is that enough? I'm seeing no, not at this current time. So that is my reading for you. I'm sending you nothing but positive love, light, and a feeling of just well-being. You've got this. The universe has your back. I look forward to reading for you again. Thanks so much for being here. Please share it with somebody that you know is going through a similar situation if it's not yours. And subscribe to the channel so that you get notified of the next time that I drop a reading. I'm your tarot translator. It's an honor to read for you. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.